Welcome, dear listeners, to another moonlit night in the realm of the macabre. I am your guide through these dark, rain-soaked roads, your Mistress Midnight, and tonight, prepare for a spine-chilling drive into the heart of darkness. This story begins with an empty fuel gauge edging closer to E on a desolate, shadowy road. In the distance, an ominous filling station beckons, its eerie call amplified by desperation. The story is out of gas.
The rain was coming down super hard, and I've never liked driving in storms, especially at night. Lightning would flash, causing strange shadows on the road from the dead-looking trees. I could see that there was nothing around me. I knew I should have gotten gas several miles back because my car was empty. I then saw an old filling station by the road. It looked really old and creepy, but it was my only option for gas, and I was hoping to find someone who could help. I stopped the car. The rain was so loud on the roof, I almost didn't want to get out. Once the rain let up a little, I ran to the front of the filling station. The door had a closed sign, but I knocked anyway. The door slowly creaked open. Inside was messy and very old, with things scattered all over. I went in and called out, "Hello? Anyone here?" But there was no answer, just the sound of the wind and rain. I thought I heard a voice or a whisper, so I turned around, but there was nobody. It made me feel uneasy, but maybe it was just the wind playing tricks on me. I carefully looked around the filling station, hoping to find some gas. As I looked around, I noticed an old radio in the corner. It crackled to life suddenly, startling me. It was just radio static and weird noises, but it still spooked me. I continued searching and found an old gas can. However, it was empty. I kind of started to freak out because this was the last place I wanted to be stranded. I looked around some more, but there was nothing. The radio made another strange sound, so I decided to get out of there. I ran back to the car, my heart pounding. I locked myself in, determined to stay there until the morning. As I huddled in the car, feeling the rain outside, I tried to get some rest. The storm raged on, and the night seemed to last forever. I woke up to the sun hitting me in the face. The storm had cleared. I was relieved to see a calm and serene morning. Just then, an old man in a beat-up truck pulled up beside me. I rolled down the window and told him that I had run out of gas. He offered to give me a ride to the nearest gas station. Grateful for the help, I accepted. As we drove away, the old man looked at me and asked,
"You didn't go inside there, did you?"
I shook my head, feeling a bit scared. I didn't know if that was his place or if I would get in trouble for looking around, so I just said, "No, I just waited in my car." He looked serious and said,
"Good choice. That place is known to be haunted. People say strange things happen there, especially on stormy nights."
I was so glad I decided to get out of there. Maybe I am just being paranoid, but why did that radio turn on like that? What were those whispers I heard? Maybe it was just my imagination, but I'm going to trust my instincts for now on. Who knows what would have happened had I stayed longer? I can tell you this, I won't be running out of gas again.
It appears our last story has run out of gas, and we find ourselves at the crossroads of fate. So tighten your grip on reality, for the Hitchers' fate beckons, and the haunting echoes of our next story await. This is the Hitchers' fate.
I was driving back home from my friend's wedding. I had been driving for over 8 hours and it was late at night. The rain was pouring down like crazy, making it hard to see the road clearly. I just wanted to get home and relax. As I drove, I noticed this figure on the side of the road, drenched in the rain. It was a hitchhiker. Now, I usually wouldn't pick up hitchhikers, but this night was different. It was pouring, and I felt sorry for the guy. So, I decided to stop and offer him a ride. He seemed pretty normal at first, just a regular guy looking to get out of the rain. I asked him where he was headed, and he said he was just trying to get to the next town. We got chatting, and he was actually really friendly. He knew a lot about the area and even cracked a few jokes. I thought, hey, this might turn out to be a good decision. But then, things got weird. He started telling me things about myself, things he couldn't possibly know. He knew my name, where I worked, even my favorite pizza place. I got a little freaked out and asked him how he knew all this stuff. He just smiled and said he had a good memory for faces. As we kept talking, he mentioned personal stuff, things only my close friends knew. My heart was racing, and I was thinking about pulling over and telling him to get out. But the rain was so heavy and it was so late. I felt stuck. The guy then started predicting things that hadn't happened yet. Like, he said my phone would ring in the next minute, and sure enough, it did. It was my buddy checking in on me. That was too much for me. I started to panic. How could he know all this? I asked him to get out of the car, but he just laughed and said we were almost in the next town. He said one last thing that sent chills down my spine.
You'll find the answers you seek at the old oak tree near the town entrance.
I dropped him off, feeling a mix of fear and confusion. I tried to shake it off, thinking maybe he was just messing with me. But curiosity got the better of me, and I went to that old oak tree. I found a small, worn-out diary hidden under a pile of leaves. It belonged to my dad, who had passed away years ago. It had details of my life up until that day. My dad and I didn't have the best relationship, and we didn't talk much after I left home. I never felt like he was proud of me, but as I started to read his diary, tears ran down my face. I couldn't believe what I was reading. I had been wrong this whole time. If I had only known how he felt about me, why didn't I visit him more? Now it was too late. How could that hitchhiker have known so much? It's like he was a ghost or something. I'm still trying to make sense of it, but some things are just beyond explanation. I haven't picked up another hitchhiker since then, and I'm not sure I ever will. But if I didn't, would I have ever found this diary?
In the midst of a dark and stormy night, a solo drive turns ominous. An unyielding car with piercing headlights tailing relentlessly. Beware this eerie pursuit on a desolate road, the secrets whispered by the rain-soaked night. Shield those eyes. This is the headlights.
Hey, so this really scary thing happened to me a few months ago that I can't seem to shake off. I was driving alone at night on this long, lonely road. It was really dark, and the only lights were the ones from my car and the occasional flicker of lightning. I saw this car behind me, and its headlights were blinding me. They were so bright that I could barely see anything else. It was following me really close, which made me super nervous. I tried to speed up, slow down, and change lanes, but this car just stayed right behind me. I thought maybe they were in a hurry or just driving recklessly, but the way they were following me felt more like they were chasing me. My heart was racing. I was so scared. I wished I had taken a different route and wasn't alone. I called my friend, hoping that talking to someone would make me feel safer. As we talked, I told her what was happening. She advised me to drive to the nearest police station. It sounded like a good idea, but the problem was, I was in the middle of nowhere, far from any town or police station. The car was still following me, and I started to panic. I had heard stories about dangerous people on the road at night, and I didn't want to be the next victim. I remembered passing by an old abandoned gas station a while back. It was my only hope for someplace to go. I drove faster, hoping to lose the pursuer, but they just kept up, their blinding headlights piercing through the darkness. When I reached the gas station, I quickly pulled in, hoping they would drive past, but they didn't. The car parked a little distance away, its engine still running. My heart was pounding, and I didn't know what to do. Should I run? Should I call for help? I decided to wait it out, hoping they'd leave. Minutes felt like hours, and the silence was freaking me out. Then suddenly, the car's headlights went out. The whole area was pitch black. Fear paralyzed me, and I locked all the doors of my car. Suddenly, there was a tap on my window. I jumped, my heart in my throat. It was a man. He had a wrinkly face and this twisted grin. He gestured for me to roll down the window. I shook my head and mouthed, "No," but he just kept smiling, tapping harder on the window. I grabbed my phone to call the police, but there was no service here. I decided to make a run for it. I started the car, reversed, and drove out of there as fast as I could. I looked in my rearview mirror and saw the man getting back into his car. He started chasing me again. His high beams turned on, and he just kept following me. I didn't know what to do. I pushed my car harder, hoping to outrun him somehow. Finally, there was a little cell service, and I called 911. I gave them my location and what was happening. They said they were sending help, but I was still alone on that dark road. After what felt like forever, I saw the lights of a police car approaching. The man must have seen it too, because he suddenly turned and sped away, disappearing into the night. The police helped me and searched the area, but they couldn't find the man or his car. I was shaken to the core and couldn't sleep for days, fearing he might come back. I don't know who that man was or what he wanted, but I'll never forget that grin of his and the fear of being pursued on that dark, desolate road.
Thank you for embracing the mysteries of the night with me on this journey through shadows and secrets. As the clock chimes its final toll, remember, darkness forever whispers, and the tales of the macabre await your return. Until we meet again in the realm of midnight, stay haunted and bewitched. Good night.